The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming news, guides, walkthroughs, interviews, and reviews, including their featured article predicting which Nickelodeon characters will show up in the upcoming Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game. The guys at Shack News break down the possible fighting styles of characters like SpongeBob, the Ninja Turtles, and Ren and Stimpy. Woo-hoo. So go and check that out. And remember, you can join in on the conversation with the Shack News Cortex and Shack News Reader. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @ShackNews and at ShackNews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back my job. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside. He's doing it. Touchdown. Swing to the 5. Bring it one. Away. Back to goal. Reflog. It's turning over backwards.
No. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, July 26th, 2021. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, fresh off his Cedar Point trip, Mr. Chris McNeil. How are you, sir?
And Guardians Insider.
Oh,
the very
I forgot.
First Cleveland Guardians Insider right here.
Wild. Absolutely wild run you were on there, Chris.
Breaking news, baby.
You had it first.
I had it first.
Not to take anything from
I called it. I called it. I was only off by 5 minutes. I said they would announce it on Friday at 9:40. They announced it and put out that Tom Hanks video at 9:35. Next time I'll be
do you
better,
think
Dave.
they put it out there 5 minutes early just to mess with you? Be like, all right,
it was a scheduled tweet.
Reflog's not going to win.
That satisfaction. We're going to bump it back 5 minutes. Yeah.
And the one and only Mr. Nick Padone. What's going on, my man?
What's happening? Busy week. Browns training camp here. NBA draft week. Lots to be excited about, guys.
I actually don't know if we're talking on the NBA draft. What is it, Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday.
Who do you want, Nick?
Man, don't do me like this, Dave. I want Jalen Green. I still want Jalen Green. It's not happening, though. The Cavs are going to get Evan Mobley. He's going to be a tremendous player for us. I'm really excited about his upside. Everybody's excited about his upside. You know, Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN today said in any other draft, this guy would be a number 1 overall pick, and he's going to be
really,
to us at number 3. So there's a lot to be excited about for Mr. Evan Mobley.
And is that the pick?
Seems like it's going to be the pick. So Cade Cunningham is going to go 1 to the Pistons. At number 2, the Rockets are going to take Jalen Green. And then that leaves us at number 3. We take big man Evan Mobley from USC. Probably the Raptors at 4 are taking Jalen Suggs. OKC at 5 takes Scotty Barnes. And then the real draft starts. The Cavs are also trying to get back into that first round without giving up the 3rd overall pick. So that could be cool too. It'd be cool to walk away with like number 3 overall and, number 10 or number 11 overall, because they're trying to get that high back up into the draft.
Very interesting.
There's our Cavs insider, Nick Padone.
That's right.
Got all kinds of insiders around here, Dave.
Yes, we do. I need to pick it up. All right, tonight on the show, we will kick it off with Power Rank Monday presented by Labatt Blue. We're going to do top 3 best uniforms in sports. Current, past, retro, whatever you guys want to throw on there. Then we'll get into our exclusive featured interview with Browns Executive Vice President JW Johnson. J-Dubs joining the show fresh off that throwback jersey release. Then Cleveland headlines brought to you by TSC Cleveland. They're going to help us give away a Clay Matthews Jr. 8x10. 8x10, not bad. Signed poster.
Yeah, and isn't that the interception from the Bills game?
I believe so.
It looked like it, and that was just a fabulous. You talk about the great moments of Clay Matthews. That interception of Jim Kelly, my God, I'll never forget that.
Look at Wayne in the comments showing us some love. Love it, Wayne. And then, hey, Chris, I don't know if you saw in the bottom or the top right of the graphic. GV Art, we're partner up with them for the Brown season. Are you excited?
Hey, they're already coming strong with some Guardian stuff, even though the Indians themselves aren't putting out anything. They've got some Guardian-esque type of stuff already, a great shirt that's out there. So way to go, GV Art.
Heck yeah, we're going to do a giveaway with them this week. So free T-shirts this season for the Browns. Stay tuned for that. And then we'll get into the best and worst tweets of the week. But let's kick it off with some Power Rank Monday. Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
Power Rank Monday brought to you by Labatt Blue. Almost tailgate season. Join us week 2 downtown. Drink some free Labatt's with us. Start the season off right 2-0. All right, Browns released 75th anniversary throwback alternative uniforms this week. We're going to talk to JW about that here in a second. So we're going to power rank top 3 best uniforms in sports. I will kick it off with my number 3.
Number 3.
I am going back in basketball. Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Grandmama. The Charlotte Hornets jersey. Chris, do you remember this? It was one heck of a starter jacket.
Oh, yes. The starter jacket, really, it's an immediate mental image, too, when you say that. Yeah, the Hornets were big back then. The
Huge.
90s. I mean, people were digging that gear. And the color scheme kind of fit the 90s very well. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with basketball.
2.
For my number 2, Seattle Supersonics. Feel bad for Seattle. Great jersey. Reminds me of like
Man.
Gary Payton.
I think they'll be back soon.
Do you?
Yeah, I think, the NBA is trying to recoup some of this lost money from Corona. They're probably going to give Seattle their team back and probably one more.
Breaking news from Nick Padone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
Insider.
shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. It would make sense.
Very interesting. We shall see how that plays out. You heard
Padone
it here
bomb.
first. Padone bombs all the time. Colin on Facebook says, where can I get that helmet? That's a hover helmet.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Hoverhelmets.com. Super cool. It's not a graphic. Most people think it's a graphic. Number 1.
Numero uno.
Current Browns jersey. The away jersey. Clean. You can't beat it. We're coming off some pretty ugly jerseys before, so getting back to this, there's not a whole lot you can do with brown and orange, but we make it work perfectly, and it's by far the best. Maybe a little bias there.
See, I think we get undersold a little bit because a lot of people say that, the brown and orange, those are bad colors or whatever else. But, it's the fall. It's the perfect colors for the fall. You got Halloween in there. I mean, that's when football is played. So I would contend we have the perfect colors for football. The Browns do. So I hate when people start hating on our colors.
Yeah, I hear you. What are your top 3, Chris?
My number 3.
Number 3.
So I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, but I went and saw a band yesterday here in Granville, Saved by the 90s. and their lead singer was wearing a clean Mark Price classic Cavs orange and blue jersey. And it was fantastic. And I forgot how much I love those jerseys. Just the classic, the old school, like 80s, 90s Cavs in the blue and the orange. I thought those were fantastic jerseys, and it brought me immediately back. So I have that as my number 3.
That's why our show colors are orange and what do we got here? Yeah, orange and blue.
No, orange and blue.
I almost said orange and
I had
orange.
no idea. There's a Dave bomb there.
Dave, I'm trying to get in. Trying to get in the mix.
My number 2.
Number 2.
This one's kind of boring, but I've always liked it. It's one of the first jerseys that I bought was a Jim Thome jersey, and it's just the classic, the gray Indians with Cleveland across the front. I love that jersey. I wear it all the time. I basically worn this thing to tatters, but the gray Indians jersey I think is fantastic.
That is a good choice. I wouldn't even have thought of that.
And then my number 1.
Numero uno.
You know, after watching all the highlights and go back over last year and seeing all the YouTube videos, that got me even more in this camp. The Browns brown tops with orange pants. I just absolutely love that look, especially when we're playing at night and you have the lights kind of coming off of the helmet. I think that is a fantastic look. It's really strong. And that, my friends, is my favorite uniform combination.
That's tough to beat. BGSG says classic Raptors purple jersey, the Barney jersey. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let's see. 77 DPL OSU Scarlet jersey. Tough to beat.
Yeah, those are classic.
Yep.
It's hard to beat those.
Nick, what do you got? What's your top 3?
All right, let's go. My number 3.
Number 3.
I was going to go all Cleveland guys, but I had to throw a national jersey that I've always liked in there, and that's the San Diego / now Los Angeles Chargers, the powder blue.
That is a sharp one.
I think those are sharp. Like
Yeah.
they do it just right where it's not like cute. It's still like a tough looking powder blue. I'm a big fan of that one.
No Tampa Bay creamsicle?
Yeah, I was going back and forth.
Oof.
I also I like the Tampa Bay, like that gunmetal gray that they've kind of gravitated to now.
Yeah.
Is, you know, it's kind of tough, especially it's easy to like that one too because they just won a Super Bowl. But they're going to bring those back. It's going to be fun to see a lot of these old throwback NFL jerseys, you know, in 2022 when they could have 2 helmets. And we'll talk with JW, you know, about that in a second. The Browns are kind of ahead of the curve. They're throwback 1946 jerseys this year.
Heck yeah, they are. Joey Mansky on Twitter says, hate the Astros, but those old orange and blue striped jerseys were good. I almost had them on the list, and I was like, I can't put the Astros on this list. I'm sorry. We got Coach Nichols. What's going on, Drew? Says Texas white on white. That is a clean look.
Ooh, wow.
And Ed in Columbus, what do you say? Oh, okay. Steelers jersey when a Browns player in a Turkey Jonesism. Nice.
I guess so. All right, my number 2.
Number 2.
All right, I'm going with LeBron, his first trip through Cleveland, the Cavaliers 2003 until 2008, the big old C with the Cleveland on the front. That's a sweet jersey. That's very sharp. I wish they'd go back to that now. I think it would be cool to see, you know, Sexland and Mobley and Okoro and, you know, Larry Nance Jr. wear those jerseys now. The wine was sharp. The white was even cool as well. I like the Cavs colors a lot. I think there's a lot that they do with them that they do well and that works a lot. But that era of Cavs basketball was a lot of fun. LeBron's first trip through here, so that would have to make my list.
How about one talking Cavs that I would otherwise have hated, but we won a championship in them?
I know,
the black
sleeves.
T-shirt ones.
That was my honorable mention.
Yeah.
Chris, you stole it right from me.
Did I take it from you? Take your thunder?
That's not my number 1, but
so
I had
ugly.
that just as an honorable mention. They were horrible, and LeBron hated them. And then
he hated
the friggin' championship and the things.
Yeah.
So Cleveland. That is very Cleveland.
That's right.
All right, my number 1.
Numero uno.
I'm staying on brand, guys. I'm going with the current Cleveland Browns uniforms. I'm going to go with the Browns white tops with the orange pants. So I'm keeping the orange pants, but instead of the orange on top,
going white on top.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, those are flashy. We wore those in the Pittsburgh win. We wore those and tried to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs. So
Yeah.
I'm rolling with those. I hope they wear those a lot, coming into 2021.
Heck yeah. All right, let's talk some more jerseys. What do you think?
Let's
do it.
Let's bring in our featured guest this week, JW Johnson. We will be back here in about 30 seconds. Let's get it. Already on the line, we have Browns Executive VP, member of the Browns ownership group, the one and only JW Johnson. J-Dubs, welcome back to the Big Play Reflog Show, my friend. How are you?
He looks like he may be muted there, Dave.
Oh, are we on mute?
There
Oh,
you go.
can you hear me now?
Beautiful.
Sorry about that. I think after all these months of Zoom, I'd figure this stuff out. So apologize about that.
I was like, yeah, a year and a half of Zoom. Let's go.
Jeez. It's just kind of nice to be back in the building. I don't have to worry about it. But anyway, good to see you guys.
You as well. Let's get right into it. So 75th anniversary throwback jersey release. Huge hit on social media, as you know. Question for you. How much back and forth was there kind of behind the scenes when you're talking about something big like an alternate helmet, changing it, putting a number on there, putting the white stripe on there?
Yeah, obviously we were a big process going through this, and this was all kind of born to fruition when we started the new uniform process for last year, and so we had to get ahead of it. We spent lots of time working with our friends at the NFL and Nike, and obviously internally looking at a bunch of different images, and then we decided to pay homage to the 1946 team. Obviously with the way the jerseys are and the shadow box numbers, and then the helmet represents the teams of the 50s and 60s, and then obviously we brought them back in the mid 2000s at one point, but yeah, no, a lot of back and forth. We felt pretty good about where we landed. The fans are obviously, I think, really excited about them. I'm very excited about them. The players today, we had a handful of them doing their media day shoot, and man, they look sharp. Excited for everybody to come out to First Energy. When we have play here week 2 and can see what we're putting up on the boards. It's going to be awesome.
Saw Jedrick Wills showing off that jersey, flexing. It's a good look on that team.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks good. Sometimes those old linemen don't like being in all white because I think it makes them look fat, but I think this one looks good on them.
We had a fan question, speaking of white. White helmets have been kind of top of mind for Browns fans, especially with the 75th anniversary throwback. Do you foresee that at all in years coming up once that helmet deal expires with the one helmet?
Maybe it's kind of like everybody asking us if we were ever going to have orange pants, and I, kind of downplayed it. So we'll see what happens. We got to look through it. Obviously, wait for that rule to come through, but could be a possibility. I've seen some pretty good mock-ups out there on social media about what a white helmet could look like, but we'll see. We'll we've got we'll have to use this uniform again just this year, and then we'll see what happens next year. But to be determined.
How cool kind of is that for you guys, JW, that, the NFL is kind of possibly, it seems, relaxing on some of these rules with the helmet. And now this year you could do the decals, and next year have 2 completely different shells, and relaxing things with the jerseys. It kind of gives a lot of options. And so far the Browns fans are just eating it up.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, obviously, listening to you guys before I came on about your top 3 jerseys, I had a couple, but I won't get into it. But it's kind of cool to see like Tampa Bay, and then maybe coming back with their creamsicles, or New England with Pat the Patriot, and gosh, I'm sure there's others. Denver could probably change some things, or whatever. But yeah, it's cool. I'm glad the league is kind of starting to relax a little bit, have some fun, give us some opportunities to kind of showcase some new jerseys, helmets, things like that, just to kind of keep the game fun again. And we'll see what we end up coming up with. We like to keep things a little bit of a surprise for everybody. So maybe this time next year we'll get back on again.
How tough is it to keep it a surprise? Because you guys do a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, listen, we obviously we don't like having leaks coming out of our building on the football side, and we definitely don't want leaks coming out of the building on any kind of, gear side. So we try to keep it under lock and key. There's me and one other person that really are involved with it. And then obviously we have to work with the league and Fanatics and other people like that. But, unfortunately we had a little bit of the jersey pop out early on, but really didn't get a whole lot of traction. So those are challenging times. I would have felt bad for the Bengals, obviously them going through a whole new look, but we were lucky enough last year not to have it come out. And I think that was most important as we went through a whole new relaunch of our uniform. So it is tough, but we try to do our best to make sure it doesn't happen.
You did see the new uniforms were our number ones for all of our power ranks. So just throwing that out there.
I did. No one talked about the throwbacks, but we'll have to wait and see as we start, playing some games. Maybe they'll bring us some good luck this year.
We figured they're already sold out at the pro shop, so we're giving you a little bit of time to get back to it.
It's been pretty good so far. Good reactions. Obviously, we had a lot of fun just kind of opening it up and launching the uniform on our app. And I think starting tomorrow they'll be available on Fanatics and other sites. So it was great to have a nice little exclusive window for our fans. And I was down at the pro shop today. We're talking to Nathan and the guys, and it looks good. The uniforms they look awesome.
That's fantastic. All right, so I want to ask you this. So last time we had Joe Thomas on the show, he told us a story of him driving home from a game that he played in with his wife, and he put his head down and just started crying. I think it was after an 0-16 season game. The dark ages of Browns football, if you will, kind of, it's crazy. I know
Dave, I tried to forget about that.
Wait, you'll see where I'm going, because I know we haven't reached the end goal quite yet. But what's the journey been like for you? Because you've been, you guys were the guys who brought this back to dominance with Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, obviously, it's we're just thrilled and lucky to be fortunate enough to be a part of this organization and be stewards for this team for everybody here in Cleveland and around the world. And losing sucks. I think I said that before when the first time I was on, and Chris was like, "Yeah, you know who I am." I go, "Yeah, I know who you are." And so having that parade was no fun, but. Like I said, it is what it is, and I understand it. But yeah, losing is really tough, and we hate it. Myself and Jimmy, D, and everybody in the family and the whole organization, starting with Kevin and Andrew, we're hyper competitive, and I know our players on the field are hyper competitive, and losing is just not in our DNA. So. Yeah, it was tough. Even when we had that one win, I remember being out of town. I wasn't officially with the organization, and I literally was screaming at the TV when we, kicked that field goal and then blocked the field goal. And I think people were looking at me at this bar. They're going, "What in the hell is wrong with this guy?" And I was like, "You just don't get it." So, winning in the NFL is super hard, as we all know, and winning consistently is even harder. And I think hopefully, knock on wood, with Kevin and the group, we're in a position to be consistently competing in the AFC and around the whole league, to be honest with you. But it's fun. We're excited to get this season going, this training camp going, and hopefully carry on from what happened last year. But it's never easy. I know that.
Yeah.
JW, and I know what's so unique about you guys as well, the Haslam's and your ownership group, is that you guys are a passionate group. You're fans at the core. How cool is it going to be for you guys to see us, the fans, back packing the stadium and packing Berea for training camp? How cool is that going to be?
Yeah, I think last year I was more, obviously it was a big challenge having to deal with COVID, not just for us, but everybody and the players and the fans. And we're just so fortunate to be able to get a full season in. But I can only imagine what the first energy would have been like when we took down the Steelers to clinch our first playoff, opportunity in a long time. And I'm just excited to get everybody back in there and that place to be rocking. I mean, we had moments, I think in the Cincinnati and that Thursday night game, we had, maybe 6,000 or 8,000 people in there, and it felt like, at least 30 or something. So to have 60,000+ in there again will be great. But, we're obviously going to, stay close to what the city and the state has to say about rules and regulations. And we just hope people continue to get vaccinated and do their part. And if we can do that, we'll have a packed house. And I know our players will feed off all that energy. And I know I will too. So I'll be ready to go.
So JW, with its new jersey release, you guys had, a big social media push for the 24th on Saturday that you were going to reveal this. And then the Cleveland Indians come by on Friday and they drop a name change. Did that steal your thunder at all?
No, we kind of had heard or knew something was coming. I mean, we were just planning to go with, I think, I don't recall if the Indians had put out a release date. So I think we kind of got ahead of it. We know what we wanted to do, and it's all good. We're fans of them and the Dolans and everybody else. And, I hope it goes well. Change is definitely different and difficult for a lot of people. We'll see. I'm not going to comment on it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just happy our launch has gone well, and I think in due time the Guardian name change will hopefully carry on. And look, I had to deal with a rebrand issue down in Columbus, which we ended up figuring out, but they're never easy. I mean, change is hard for everything. So,
can you talk about that at all? I'm down here in Columbus, and the crew down here, that was a big push. And I know that you guys then brought in the fans to really get their input there at the end of that process, and ended up backtracking and changing some things. Talk a little bit about that process for the crew.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we did extensive research and, focus groups and all that. And then clearly we must have not talked to the right people, but or used the wrong company to do the focus group. But anyway, no, it was, I think at the end of the day, the supporters are very passionate. They care a lot about the club, and we wouldn't be, the energy at lower.com field wouldn't be the same without them. And so, at the end of the day, our job is to make sure we take care of them, and we're doing what's best for us as a family and an organization. So, it was a little painful. I was very involved with it. I had to take it on the chin and learn some lessons. I won't get into all the behind the scenes details, but we came up with a solution. They seemed to like it. We were happy with the outcome. And if you hadn't been down to lower.com field yet, Chris, you need to, and you can kind of check out what the logo looks like on the building and everything else like that. It just fits the building. And I think that's one of the reasons why we did it, because it is intimidating. It's our fortress, and it's a fun, loud place to play. And hopefully we keep getting wings. But at the end of the day, it worked out, and we're happy that where we landed on the logo.
So I haven't been to a game yet, but I did walk down there to kind of check out the facilities, and it looks fantastic from the outside. So I'm anxious to get in there and watch a crew.
Well, I may know a guy and get you tickets, so you let me know.
That would be fantastic. Hey, speaking of tickets, for people attending training camp this year and some of the stuff that you guys are going to be doing, you've got the orange and brown scrimmage coming up. What can those fans expect? Any changes this year from maybe what they had remembered in the past? And what would you tell the fans that are going to be coming out supporting the team here early on into August?
Yeah, obviously still kind of working through the protocols with COVID and through the NFL and everything along those lines. And so it'll be a little bit of a smaller footprint than most people are used to. We're only going to have one set of bleachers this year. And I know Coach and the guys that we've come up with a good plan. So when people are in attendance, we'll try to practice on those fields so you can really see what's going on, and we're not spread all over the place, and you're not really getting that great viewing experience. So it will be a little smaller than normal. I mean, hopefully next year we'll be right sized again and back to the 3,500 to 4,000 people a day. We will have some other activations. The puppy pound will still be there. We'll figure out a way to be able to provide, kids and fans some autographs. So we're working through those details, but it'll still be a little different. We're working through it, but we're just excited to have people back there, in the building for sure.
Talk about the media too, JW. I know that's one part that a lot of the fans just wish they had that extra step, last season. It was a lot of this. It was a lot of Zoom back and forth. Do you think that could be a little bit of normalcy this season, or do you think it'll be a lot more, Instagram live sessions with the guys in the locker room after the games that just pull up their phones and go on live and let the fans experience that locker room feel with them that way?
Yeah, Nick, I'm hoping so. I think that's still to be determined. We're still kind of working through some things, and obviously with what's going on with this Delta variant, right now I think it's still up in the air, and the league will kind of, as they did last year, had to shift on a dime. But we'll see. I'm hoping we can get the media back in there and see the guys and have a little more feel of, kind of that media scrum and not doing Zoom calls, after practice or games, et cetera. So to be determined, but we're hoping to get everybody back.
Definitely. JW, it's crazy. Football is right around the corner. What's your message to Browns fans as you part with us tonight that are excited, that can't wait, that want to just fast forward through the month of August and just get to Cleveland Browns football season?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm ready to go. It's kind of hard to believe that camp's really getting started here in the next couple of days, and guys reporting, and we've had rookies and the quarterbacks out there since yesterday, and we're fired up. I mean, I think the whole organization is excited. We're excited. I think more importantly, we're happy for our fans and for them to be able to come out to First Energy Stadium this year. Hopefully, come out on the road. We travel well. We want people to get out on the road and support this team. And I think, as Nathan and other people said, we're the world's team. I really feel that our fan base is everywhere, and it's awesome to go to games and see them, going crazy all over the place. But listen, I think as Kevin says all the time, we just got to put in the work. And if we put the work in, good things will happen. And, sometimes expectations can be the enemy. So we're just looking forward to getting out there, putting the work in. A lot of things have to go your way to be able to win in this league. And if we do the right things and, focus and keep our head down and be humble, I think good things will happen. So, but we're just really fired up for you guys and the fans out there, because it's been a long time coming, and we're hoping we can kind of, like I said, have sustained success for a long time and be talking about championships for years to come.
JW, we greatly appreciate the time. Go Browns.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Chris, I know we still got to get golf in soon.
We got to play some golf.
I know. And now that we're getting out of, it's been a year, and I think Nathan and I are getting tuned up. We're ready. So I'll ping you here before too long.
I'm a little scared, though. One of the most held secrets I was telling the guys is what your actual handicap is. I think that's where you stopped short last time.
Can we break the news right now?
Yeah. What is your handicap right now?
I'm a 4-3.
Oof. See, he's right there.
Chris fell back in his seat a little bit.
Him and Nathan, man, they got me scared. I'm not going to lie. So I got to get my game in shape. I haven't played nearly enough. But
so are we doing it in Columbus or are we doing it in Cleveland?
Hey, you call it, man. This is your world. We can do it down here, do it with the crew stuff, or do it up there. Maybe we do it home and home.
We'll figure a spot for sure.
I like the home and home idea. So we'll do it at my home course, and we do it at your home course. Do this kind of like a series.
Well, hey, great to see you guys. Really appreciate the time. Enjoy the show, and we really appreciate you guys. So go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. Thanks, JW.
Hey, guys.
All right, JW. Fantastic stuff out of him.
I don't know. I'm getting nervous, guys.
What?
I work on my game.
Oh, he's going to smoke you.
I know. It's going to be bad.
How many times have you been out this year?
Like 3.
Yeah.
You and I get to play on Wednesday.
That's true.
I'll see what my game looks like on Wednesday. 2-man scramble.
Yeah.
For Labatt, a sponsor of ours.
Yes, very cool. That'll be exciting.
Yeah. So we're going to play on Wednesday. We'll see what kind of game I got.
Love it.
Chris, last year you were pimping that there were going to be cameras and the show was going to have a presence there.
Now we're kind of doing on
that now a little bit.
Now it's kind of done. Yeah, with COVID and everything, Nick, we want to just make sure that everybody's safe. So I'm going to try and keep it small. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, interesting.
Hey, that was great though. He was really forthcoming about the stuff with the crew, because I don't know how much of this gets up to you guys, but they did really take it on the chin down here from the very loyal core of crew supporters when they tried to do some of the changes in the name and then the the logos and stuff, and they had to come back to the table and say, okay, let's revisit this stuff, which most organizations just frankly will not do. And the crew did that, and I think they got a pretty positive result out of it. But he was pretty upfront with that, taking it on the chin and going back to the fans. So he's listening. The Browns are listening to us.
Heck yeah.
And, at the end of the day, we just want him to win on the field. And
we got to make it out to a game, Chris. We got to make it out to a. I've never been to a professional soccer game at all.
It's fun. I went to a few at the old stadium. I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been to the new stadium yet. It looks gorgeous from the outside. So we'll have to do a show field trip down there. Like you said, we know a guy for tickets, so maybe he'll get us in there, get us good tickets, and we can watch some crew because the crew's good. You know, we won a championship last year.
You see the pictures; it's got like the powder all over. Like the fans are. It seems like a whole game day experience, like what we do up here for the Browns. So
yeah,
I definitely want to try to get into it.
It's very underrated down here. Very underrated. But the fans that go, man, they are very, very passionate about their crew.
I love it. All right, let's get into some Cleveland headlines. Nick, we're going to relieve you. We're going to have Gab come into the studio. We'll see how this goes.
It's the trading deadline, Nick. We hate to tell you.
That's right. You have been relieved, Nick.
You guys are sellers.
Things just haven't worked out, Nick.
We got to talk to Gab about the Guardians.
Bomb, pretty good, but some good questions in the interview, but
that's all right. I will be right back talking headlines with
30 seconds.
Gab.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye, Nick.
See you, dude. See ya.
There she is. Gab's a lot on the mic. What's going on?
I love how below her it says Nick Padone 12.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, loud
You
and
guys can hear me, right?
Loud and clear. How are you?
But I can't hear you.
Oh, perfect.
This is going well, Dave.
Heck
Nailed
yeah.
it, man.
Maybe if I unplug my headphones.
This is our behind the scenes portion of the show.
Right.
Oh,
Chris, my favorite thing about this is it said Kevin has entered the waiting room. And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I better text Gab, make sure that's not someone joining the show and mooning us or something like that.
Well, while she's getting on, do we want to go on to maybe giving away?
I think that's a great idea. What do you think?
Clay Matthews item?
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Cleveland Headlines brought to you by TSE Cleveland. Every week, giving away a signed Cleveland sports memorabilia item courtesy of TSE Cleveland. Check them out. Follow the Big Play Reflux Show and TSE Cleveland on Twitter for your chance to win every single Monday. Signed jerseys, helmets, personal items you want sent in. TSE Cleveland has it all. Stay tuned every Monday for a winner. And this week, the winner of the Clay Matthews Jr. 8x10 signed autographed is the winner is at DRD160 Dan Dendorfer. Dan Dendorfer,
Fantastic.
Congratulations. You're taking it home.
Another guy who doesn't follow me on Twitter. That is fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, we don't pick these.
Congrats, Dan.
Now give me a
My
follow.
boy.
Yeah,
My boy, Dan. Enjoy the Clay Matthews picture.
that's right.
That is a nice picture. Like I was saying, man, we have some good items from TSC.
We
I'm
do.
looking right now at the helmet, the Clay Matthews helmet. I've got the Bernie Kosar jersey. I mean, this is legit stuff and really nice stuff.
We're gonna have to give away a helmet.
I'm just
at some
amazed
point.
at what they roll out with.
Oh, and yeah, it's like every player too. It's crazy. All right, let's check with Gab. Gab, can you hear us?
Not looking good, Dave.
Not looking good. Not looking good, Gab. Well, let's talk some headlines, and maybe Gab will mess around with it, and we'll get her in.
Still an upgrade from Nick, by the way.
Absolutely.
Just throw that out there.
Can't hear anything, can't talk. Upgrade.
Still an upgrade. Oh, man.
That is right. All right.
Poor guy comes on here, gives us all kinds of insider info, does great on the interview, and then we're like, God, time for you to go now.
That's a tough rep. All right. We talked briefly with JW on the Guardians name. Tristan McKenzie tweeted this out. He said, y'all don't like the name for real, right when it came out. Chris, were you surprised with the mixed reactions to the Guardians?
No, I mean, that's the way. Everybody's going to have a strong opinion, and they always do. You know, I put out a couple of polls. They got a lot of response. I got like 11,000 votes.
Oh, yeah.
53% of the people liked it. Liked Guardians, 47% did not. And it was actually like it or hate it. So I made sure I split that. But there are a lot of people who are just like, it's okay. So, I was surprised that it was, it was the favorite. 53% of people liked it. So that's a good start for it. Now, when you go to the logo, that's where they really diverge, because it was like 65% hated the logo. So they have some work to do in the full branding picture when it comes to the Guardians. I don't know if I would have liked any of them, to be honest with you.
That's true.
I kind of was leaning towards spiders. I'm not one of those that, you can't change the Indians or anything like that. But none of them really spoke to me in a way that I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. That would be unbelievable. They were all kind of like, okay, they've all got their ups. They've all got their downs. We're going to change it. And Guardians is just one of those for me. We named the team after statues on a bridge, and that's fine. It's going to be tough to explain that to people nationally over and over again. Sure. Eventually they're going to get it. And if they don't, that's fine. We can always have our insider stuff in Cleveland. That's fine too. But I don't know. It's okay. It's one of those. Do you have a recollection back as a kid of those being a big deal?
Of what being a big deal?
The Guardians of Traffic, the statues.
No, I mean, I used to like jog over those bridges in high school. Right. So I knew how cool they were, but like historically, not really.
I mean, they really didn't come into the consciousness, I don't feel, until about the last 10 years when t-shirt companies.
Mostly GV Art.
Yeah, GV Art. Yeah. And that kind of brought them to prominence, it felt like, because prior to that, I didn't know that much about them. I'd kind of see them and you'd see their statues up there. And now, of course, I notice it every single time on the Hope Memorial Bridge. But yeah, it wasn't as big of a feature, I don't think, as what it is now. And it certainly wasn't historically for me. But in any case, it's the name now. So
that's true. Yeah, Chris, to your point, like I don't think, because of the nostalgia, like especially me, like I'm 37, I went to all the games in the 90s, went to some of the playoff games into the early 2000s. So like with my dad, so like that nostalgia is always going to be around. But so like anytime there's going to be a change, there's no way I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I like it.
Right.
So, but Guardian, it could have been way worse. I'll say that.
I don't like the idea of the blue socks.
No,
I wasn't big on that one. The Buckeyes, I really didn't like. And I heard that was right up there. I heard it was originally,
which is wild.
The Spiders and the Guardians, like most of us have.
Yeah.
Right. And then I heard that the Indians were having some problems with Richmond, and they were giving them all kinds of fuzz about taking the Spiders. So they ultimately ended up with the Guardians. But I also have heard that the Buckeyes were up there against the Guardians, and they were concerned about the Ohio State giving them a bunch of fuzz. So
Ohio State would roll them.
Yeah. If you're going to take on anybody, take on Richmond over the Ohio State.
Take on a roller derby.
That's right, or a roller derby team. Yeah, they were looking at Richmond. They were looking at the Ohio State or a roller derby team, and they're like, we're going to take on the roller derby team.
I like this tweet from Marla, friend of the show, Marla Ridenour. The Guardians have always been my favorite symbol for Cleveland. To me, they represent strength, toughness, upholding the city's values and work ethic, and keep watch over the town and lake. Now, about that logo.
See, for me, that would be the free stamp. Say the same things just about the free stamp.
How bad? I heard a couple people liked the logo.
The free stamp has always been my favorite symbol of Cleveland. To me, it represents strength, toughness,
Oh my God.
upholding the city's values and work ethic, and keep watch over the town and the lake. There it is.
All right, maybe if
The Cleveland free stamps.
if Cleveland loses their battle with the roller derby crew, maybe they'll go the Cleveland free stamps.
That'd be fantastic.
Gab, can you hear us yet?
I got you.
Oh,
hi.
she's here. Gab's a lot on the mic. How are you?
Woo! I'm good. How's it going?
It's always difficult to bring someone in live. You never know what's going to happen.
I know. I'm super happy that all I had to do was a quick Google, so that was my bad this whole time.
That's all we do on the Big Play Reflux Show. Google. Yeah,
like I could see you guys perfectly.
What do you think of the new name?
I'm still kind of indifferent on it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Why am I so indifferent? I wasn't one of the people that was like, I want to jump off a bridge because I can't deal with it. And I also wasn't like overly like, oh, they crushed it. I don't know. That's just my honest opinion. I think that it'll really grow on me, though. You know, it is what it is. And I'm one of those accepting people. Like, I'm just, you know, me crying about it isn't going to change it. So I'm kind of like, there would be no point to that anyhow. So like, let's embrace it. Let's go for it. Let's have some fun.
Gab, aren't you
like
supposed to be the one pumping us up over this logo, over this name? I mean, isn't that your whole thing?
I am. And
Yes.
I will in 2022.
Yeah, you got some time.
She's got some time to work herself
Yeah.
up to it, is what she's saying. Yeah.
Exactly. I'll work into it. I love the name. I love what they're doing with the concept, but I'd have to say I kind of agree with maybe we can sharpen up some of our presentation about it.
Yeah.
When you're changing a name like this that has such a storied, like, you know, people have tied so many memories to Indians. Obviously, changing is going to be hard for a lot of us. But I wasn't one of those anti-change people. Once I knew we were going to change, I was like, well, it doesn't matter if I'm anti-change or pro-change. We're changing.
Right.
So let's just make it a good one. And I
She's
think
going to be out
Guardians-
there with earmuffs, with the G's and the wings. out
Hey,
there
G for
promoting this
Gabriella,
thing.
I'm about this. Let's get baseballs with G's on them. Let's go. Like, there's going to be, I'm here for it.
I love it. Yeah, as long as they can find some new clip art, I am on board for this
Yeah.
new logo. that.
Agreed. I mean,
Oh.
like, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's the part that'll grow on me, I think.
Yeah, there you go. You got a year.
Yeah.
This was a tweet I didn't like. This should have been worse tweets. It's in headlines though. Jose Ramirez talks of trading him. One of the greatest contracts ever was locking in Jose. I think we got 2 more years at least. Chris? What are your thoughts on this?
I had somebody reach out to me, one of these insiders, right, and say that Jose was going to the Yankees yesterday, but it wasn't strong enough that I'd even put it on Twitter. So that gives you an idea. I had somebody else today say Clint Frazier's being talked about. So I don't know.
He's always being
It seems
talked
like there's a
about.
lot of momentum for him going away. I would hate that. I mean, he's I guess we end up saying this about so many of these players. We said it about Lindor. We said it about guys in the past, but he seems to really be the heart and soul of what we've got here in Cleveland right now. And he just personifies, humility while at the same time having fun, while also having this confidence. I mean, he's just that whole package that really represents what I like in baseball. Right.
And he agreed.
It would
Yeah.
suck to lose him.
He agreed
It
to
would
a
suck.
more than fair contract last time around.
And then on top of that, it's also very affordable. So it should work in the world we operate in as Cleveland Indians fans and as an organization. It should work. But having said all that, we are still at times a minor league team for teams like the Yankees. So wouldn't be surprised if we could see Mr. Jose Ramirez on the move, unfortunately. Hopefully, if we do, we get a lot back. And we're looking back and saying, man, that was one of the great trades,
Yeah.
But we shall see.
That would be a tough pill to swallow.
It would.
I don't think I could watch for a little bit.
Hey, we got rid of Trevor Bauer, and that seems to be working out.
That
Just
is
saying.
comparing. That is not a comparison.
Is that not apples to apples? Is that a little different? Maybe a slightly different situation there.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, we talked about this a little bit before the show, right in the beginning. Chris, who would you like for the Cleveland Cavaliers to take?
I don't care.
Don't
Who was
care.
the 7-footer he was talking about?
Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley. Mobley was the guy. I'm kind of falling in love with that guy, and it sounds like that's the guy they're going to take. So, what the heck? Let's go with Mobley. I like the name too, Mobley.
Yeah,
It just sounds like a lot of fun to say a lot.
it's crazy. Crazy. It's Thursday.
I know it's Thursday. Like, are you prepared for the NBA draft?
No,
Come on. The Browns are opening training camp this week. I mean, the Indians just changed their name. We got a lot going on. And then to throw the NBA draft at the end of, at the beginning of August in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is too much all at once. You should have paced it out a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens Thursday, but we're going to shift gears now into Gab's Lots world. Running. Gab,
Yes.
what are we talking about here, and who are we bringing on? I want you to pump this guy up because I googled Kobe Alexander. Holy heck, this dude is fast.
Yes. Colby is one fast dude. He's had a really interesting past year and a half too. So he's got his own interesting story. But what we're really trying to hype, going along with the idea of Guardians, is the Guardian Mile, which is relatively new. Colby's family basically created this race or put this race on, and there's an elite field and regular people's field. They've got little divisions to it, but basically it's bringing some elite runners and in the runner world, my jam, to Cleveland to run across the Hope Memorial Bridge. It's called the Guardian Mile. So that's coming up this Saturday, and Colby is going to tell us about who will be in the field, what to expect, how, just to hype it up a little bit. And then also I kind of want to dive into his story a little bit because it's definitely great.
I love it. Let's bring him in. Kobe Alexander. We'll be back here. Hopefully 15 seconds.
Got the green screens going.
Oh yeah, we do.
Pretty sweet.
This is a professionally run operation.
Is it? We're almost there.
How to intro.
A lot of pump up music. There we are. All right, our second featured interview of the night. I don't know if this is true. It's close to being true. I'm going to go ahead and say you're the fastest man on the planet. I saw the stats, so we're just going to roll with that. Colby Alexander, welcome to the Big Play Reflux Show, my friend. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm great. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, so Go ahead, Gab.
Oh no, you go. You go if you got something.
No, Gab was just kind of filling us in on kind of what's going on here this weekend with the Guardian Mile. Very, very fitting with what's going on in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now we heard you're a giant sports fan. Where would you? I ask
Cleveland
everyone.
sports,
Okay.
Cleveland sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you? How would you power rank the top three sports in Cleveland from a fandom perspective?
Oh man. Well, right now, Browns, Indians, Cavs.
Okay.
Obviously, but I grew up Indians fan. I was Indians before everything. It was tough. The Browns were so bad. It was tough. And I went to probably like one or two games growing up. So I just didn't go that often to the Browns games. And then obviously like Lebron came around and it was just like huge.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's cool, man.
that's the ranking.
Heck yeah. So how did you become so fast? I mean, I was looking at your personal best that you just hit in the 1500.
Yeah.
333.
333. It's kind of like if you do the conversion everybody uses is about 17 seconds, conversion to a mile. So it's about like a 350 mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you run a
They can
mile
do
in?
that.
I get happy if I run it in 8.
Yeah, I try and keep it under 10 is what I do, Dave. That's my dad
That's
pace.
not bad.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's very charitable of you. I appreciate that. Cole.
Gab, you're the athlete of the three of us. What do you run a mile in?
My fastest mile was 4:56. So not too speedy, but
Wow.
Colby, you'll probably understand this. I was anemic for most of college and I didn't know. So I got an iron infusion. And then I got an iron infusion and like balled out. I never really realized I was starting to get fast.
A lot of people don't know. You got to be taking your iron.
Yeah.
As a runner.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a huge thing in running. But yeah, I don't think I'll be breaking 350. But
get another iron infusion. You'll be good to go.
You know what? I get one probably like every year now. I'm the worst. I think it's more genetic than it is me not taking iron. That's what I was told. So it's not my fault, I swear. But yeah, very impressive. What I think is really cool about that 333 1500 is when you put it into context of what you've been through over the last, year. Because if we backtrack a little bit, just last month we had the Olympic trials. You make it to the finals, which by the way, no big deal. You didn't have a sponsorship headed into the trials because they dropped you.
Yeah.
Give us a little background on that first.
So former sponsor, I was with them for 5 years, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to run professionally and for them. And just ended up my contract ended and stuff, and they decided not to sign me again. And that with COVID too, the combination of both, it was obviously really hard. But
and there was an injury too, right? Were you coming into COVID injured?
I kind of have a history of I've had a pretty good injury history throughout college and stuff, but I get into shape quick, and I was healthy. It was what kind of sucked is I was pretty damn healthy during the COVID year, and we didn't really have any meets and big races and championships, but I took advantage of that and just tried to race while a lot of my competitors and stuff didn't do anything that year. So I think that kind of helped me this year, kind of just staying sharp competitively and stuff. And then and this year I made a move to Flagstaff, Arizona, which is at 7,000 feet, and I think that helped a lot too, just like training at altitude and stuff. The trials was amazing. It was always an amazing experience. I ended up getting 8th, making the final, getting 8th. So just missed making the team, but next year is a world year, so get to get another crack at it.
But I think it's cool is you place 8th in the final, and honestly, it wasn't a bad race. I watched it. You were up front. Or did you think tactically maybe you were in front for too long, or what do you think?
I think,
or that's how you had to race it to try to qualify. That was your game plan.
Yeah. Well, my game plan was to obviously perfect situation is I get off the line, I get up towards the front. I didn't mind if I was going to be leading or not. And then, just be up towards the front when whatever moves are made, and just that's just a really good position to be in rather than being in the back. I ended up getting off the line super hard, and I found myself in the back anyway. So I wasn't going to be able to live with myself if I was just going to stay back there and not do anything. So I ended up making a pretty strong move to the front about halfway through the race. And I might have pushed it a little bit hard and didn't really have a good kick in the last 100 meters or so. But, I feel good about it. I probably wouldn't have had it any other way. I gave it my all,
You put it out there. Better to put it out there than not. And then what's cool is fast forward, you regroup, you crush it at the Sunset Tour just like a week ago. You ran that personal best.
Yeah.
So
yeah, long time coming too. I my last PR was from 2016. So it's been that I needed to get rid of that. My PR was 3:34 and I was really getting sick of it. So
the monkey off the back.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like as you're crossing the finish line? I mean, do you know that, hey, I know I've got it here? Or is it one of those you got to check and double check the boards to see if you've actually hit what you think you've hit?
I knew I was running well, just because there was a lot of fans on the infield and stuff, and I make sure not to like really look at the clock when I'm running, because I don't want to focus on looking at that. I just want to be like, just keep the head down, just go. And but there was a lot of coaches on the infield just like kind of staggered down the back stretch in the last turn. And they were just getting more and more excited. And these are not my coaches, but they were just getting more and more excited every single lap. And the last lap, I knew I was running fast because like they were kind of like going nuts for me. So that was super cool. And like I knew like I needed one of the coaches said, all I need is a 30-second last 200, which is
in the bag.
It's in the bag. Yeah, that's and what he's saying is 30 seconds for a 3:35, which is the Olympic standard or I guess it would be the world standard for next year. And that's how you make the team. Like you need that standard. So that was like the main goal going is I want the world standard. He said I needed a 30, and it was like, whoa, I must be rolling because I'm gonna easily run a 30. But yeah, that was really cool.
You were cruising, and now you're the fastest Ohioan ever in the 1500.
That's what I'm most pumped about. Yeah,
and I think 8th fastest of what all time
on
U.S. soil.
On U.S. soil.
Okay,
yeah.
well to put it in perspective.
Sorry.
Okay, no, you go. You know.
17th fastest American ever. But I'm gonna run faster. So
he's gonna get even faster.
That is insane. And you don't have a sponsor right now. Can you run with a Labatt Blue in your hand? Let me ask you that.
For sure. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tape it to my arm or something.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to check with you on. Is like, so are you still without a sponsor? Like, do we need to make some phone calls out here?
You guys gotta make some phone calls.
That's unbelievable. But I kind of love how you have this chip on your shoulder. I mean, you run a 3:33. Yeah. That's the second fastest by 0.01.
I just missed it. Yeah.
And right now, run this year. So I mean, you were
by an American.
Okay, yeah. By an American. Which is, there we go, still big stuff.
I mean, America, we're super talented.
Very competitive
in the 1500. So
I think that the 1500 is one of the most competitive track events because so many people run that.
Everybody runs the mile, you know?
Yeah,
even in elementary school, you're running the mile.
Yes. And speaking of the mile, with the Guardian Mile, what are you expecting for that race? Just in its entirety and then maybe individually?
Well, in its entirety, I'm expecting it's going to be the biggest year yet. Obviously, like it's growing and growing every year. I think people were really bummed because we didn't have it during, because of COVID last year. But get out there July 31st. You can sign up on GoRun.org. But yeah, just come out like it. I'm really pumped for it. It's a super unique race because it's just the entire race is across a bridge, Hope Memorial Bridge. The Indians actually named their new name is because of our race, pretty much.
Because of your race, so
yeah. You were tipped off then, obviously, that they were going to announce that last week.
I was a little bit shocked. I was like, yeah. I mean, it's fun. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I guess I wish it was the Spiders. But
I kind of wanted the Spiders too. I kind of wanted the Spiders or the Blues.
Yeah. After they don't get the Cleveland Guardians name, clevelandguardians.com, they're going to come after you and be like, can we buy guardianmile.com?
So hold on, squat. You're going to make some money. There's your sponsor money right there. It's going to be the Cleveland Indians.
That's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on there and sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's hard to get up for like a 5K or or marathon, half marathon, but like you can get up for a mile.
Yeah.
So there you can get some free ice cream from Mitchell's and stuff at the end. And individually though, I've never won the Guardian Mile, so I'd be pumped to win that, bring a championship to Cleveland and stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's freaking
Cleveland,
go.
this is for you. We'll have another
is
one of
for
those.
you.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, with Katie.
Yeah, that's right.
Me and her have the same exact birthday.
No
by the
kidding.
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Probably like hours apart.
Really?
Wow.
What is your birthday?
June 13th, 1991. and
Okay,
she's-
so June. I don't know.
Yeah.
That must be what Olympians are made of,
I guess
that
so.
I guess,
whatever
yeah.
zodiac sign.
Gemini.
I is for Twitter trolls, apparently, because I'm July 14th. So
There you go. Colby, another thing about the race, just to hype it up a little bit, I've
Yeah.
helped MC it in the past before. I think what's really cool is that it's like an evening race. Nobody has to wake up at like 6 a.m. It's an
Yes.
evening race. It's very community oriented. There's tons of people,
Yeah.
and like they line the bridge. It's so
Yeah.
cool. It's like everybody's just having a great time. There's music. It's really
Yeah.
fun. Like, and you get to see the sunset kind of deal. It's
It's
like
really
you got to
pretty.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the sunset off to the left over the lake. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like hoping in like, I hope it grows really quickly, but I'm hoping in like 20 years or something, it's like we actually line like the entire bridge. Full of
Yeah.
people. But we get a lot of fans out, and everybody who runs the community races, they stick around and watch the elites run. The elite fields are legit. They're like,
Yeah.
like no, like one of the best races in general, like in the country for road races, track races. We're getting like Olympians, Olympic trials qualifiers.
Wow.
It's a really like it's a really cool thing. You're really seeing some of the best in the world in the elite field. So that,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't come watch or come race, you should come watch the race for the elites.
Yeah.
How
I'm
much
excited.
work was this to kind of put everything together and where it is today?
Yeah, I mean I'm not going to take credit for, putting it together. Like that's like, so my mom is actually the race director.
Okay.
And she's got a nice like team of people, that have been, they work basically year round being able to put this together and get the permits for the bridge and stuff. It's a lot of work. Just for like such a short race, you wouldn't really think like you need that much work for such a short race. You'd think like you had to do all this work for a marathon, but for a mile, it probably you don't need to do that much. But it's hard to kind of close that bridge down. It's a pretty big important bridge into Cleveland. So, but yeah, like they're working hard, and super grateful for them to do this. And
That's awesome. I used to jog that bridge at like 5 a.m. every morning in high school.
Yeah. Oh, did you go to St. Ignatius?
I did. Yeah, I did crew at Ignatius, and literally every morning.
Yeah.
I have bad memories of that bridge.
Well, it's up. That's something too. Like, for the people who are on the fence of running Guardian Mile, maybe put the earmuffs on for this part. But it's like halfway uphill. Like the first half is uphill, and then you get a nice downhill. But it's kind of it can be a kind of a brutal course.
But for the leisure jogger or runner, I mean, you can't beat the view. It's one of the best views in the whole city.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. And did I cover all my bases? I'm really excited. We talked about your PR. The legit field that's going to be there, just trying to hype it up, get people going. Oh, I'm singing the national anthem, by the way.
Oh,
too.
nice.
You weren't going to mention that?
Kenny roped me into doing that.
That's a big bomb right there. Look at you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I did it in 2019. Yeah, the year before COVID. So I'll be doing it again. So there's also that. But yeah, this is a big deal, and I just wanted to make sure I try to get you a spotlight for this, just because obviously I'm a passionate runner and I believe anything to hype up our sport, but especially people from our Cleveland area, you know, who have such ties to the land, and your family is really like created this awesome event that I hope really, really grows, you know, and then, like you were saying.
Yeah. We would, I don't know. I'm so bad with like street names and stuff, but that bridge that runs parallel to the Hope Memorial Bridge like on 71 that goes, you know, we'd always drive, we had season tickets to the Indians growing up. And so we'd go like every time going to the games, we like my dad would look over that bridge and be like, that bridge is a mile long. Like, it'd be cool to have a race on that. And then like, you know, 15 years later, I'm like, hey, we should do that. We should actually have a race. So it's really cool that it's actually happening.
Coming to fruition. Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for using your professional status helps too. You know, people in the game, you know, to bring the kind of talent that we're going to see. So I think
that's something I'll take a little bit of credit for the elite fields. I mean, but we have like an elite athlete coordinator who was an amazing runner himself, Nate Brannon. He was an Olympian for Canada. But I help him out a little bit with getting people, because I know a lot of people in the game. But
awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show to talk about all this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming on, and I'll see you on Saturday. Let's go, Guardian Mile. Plus, you gotta check out that cool merch. Guess what's not clip art? That t-shirt.
Come get an Under Armour t-shirt.
That logo is so much better.
Yeah. Get your Guardian merch. You can't get it from the Indians for another year, so get it right there on Sunday.
That's right. All right, Colby, we appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Colby.
See you guys.
All right. Good stuff. That's a big event, Gab.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just, if you go there and you experience the atmosphere, you know what I'm talking about. But I hope, like he says, it gets really, really big, because like, we'll have, if it gets really big, people will understand the camaraderie of the mile in general. It's such a tactical race, and anything could happen, and it just gets people fired up, and it's just so cool that it's happening over the bridge. So
no kidding.
I'm pumped.
Heck yeah,
well, you don't sing the national anthem for just anything, too. I mean, this is something, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, everyone knows I have terrible stage fright about the anthem. So if I'm doing it, that means I do. Only because I just haven't done it often. You know, it's not my song, or it's not, you know, something that I wrote or comfortable. It's the one song that's got like a full octave. I don't know the terminology here, but it's got a ton of notes in there. Everybody knows it. They'll know when you mess up, but
you're not going to go like Fergie jazz style, right?
I am not going to go Fergie jazz style.
Do you keep a cheat sheet? Do you have it like written on your arm just in case? Do you ever go that route?
Don't psych me out here, because I've never messed up the words.
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, seriously. Oh man, like what would I do if I messed up too? I'd probably just like repeat. I would skip, and I wouldn't even acknowledge. I would just be like, "This is what the anthem is now."
Just
blow
a whistle and just run. Just start running.
Who's the Olympic athlete, Dave, who sang the anthem? Jim Rome would talk about it all the time. It's going to kill me now. Is it Carl Lewis?
At the Olympics?
Oh, yeah, and he wasn't very good.
Oh, in the middle of it. He's like, wait, I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you.
And he could not get there. He couldn't get there. He's struggling.
Fantastic. I had forgotten that drop from the old Jim Rome show.
Oh, man, that's funny. All right, let's do best and worst tweets to get out of here. What do you say?
We should.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, did you see this one? Bernie Kosar making a very special day a little more special, honored to throw a pass at the bride and groom as they were introduced. Look at that catch.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect catch. Perfect catch. Perfect spiral from Bernie. Definitely the best tweet of the week.
Is there a more wholesome Twitter account out there right now than Bernie Kosar's?
You matter.
That's right. Every single one.
It's so good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fantastic.
Wholesome Bernie Kosar.
Chris, that was the best one, obviously. What would you pick for the worst this week?
So we've kind of teased around this all day long, but it's from Dan Lust, Sports Law. Did the Cleveland Guardians forget to check Google? Because as we've talked about, not only do we have now the Cleveland Guardians, the baseball team, we've also got a roller derby team that's already established in town and has been using the Cleveland Guardians name as well as a logo, which I think we all agree on this show is better than the Cleveland Guardians baseball team's logo.
At least the script.
And Dan Lust pointed that out. And it's a pro roller derby team. They also happen to own clevelandguardians.com. Sir Yacht put out a fantastic rant on this one already, as you'd expect him to do. So I'm sure that, we talked about it, looking at the different options. If you're going to go against Ohio State and go the Buckeyes, that one's probably not a fight you want to fight. Richmond Spiders, maybe a little bit more doable, but you probably still want to fight that. So if it's a local roller derby team, that's probably the fight you want to take up. And it sounds like the Indians might have a fight on their hands, or at least have to pay out some cash to get their hands on the website, as well as some of the trademarks and copyrights and such that.
Wild. Absolutely wild. It's been a week.
They might not even need the website, though, because I think that every team is hooked up to MLB.com to some capacity, so they probably don't even need.
It'll just be a redirect. They'll probably just figure it out so that you put that in, it just automatically redirects to the MLB site. They'll probably be fine on that one.
That could be. Well, we'll find out. It'll be interesting over the next year what happens.
I'll tell you what, I would love to be the team owner for that roller derby team.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's probably the most valuable team in the entire league, right?
It has
At
to
this
be.
Moment,
It has
based
to be.
upon potential.
We'll see how it all plays out. All right, let's get out of here. We ran late. Thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Reflog Show. Huge shout out to ShackNews.com. Go check them out on Twitch, live video game content. Labatt Blue, go drink a Labatt Blue. And join us for our week 2 tailgate coming up. That'll be super fun. Chris, I will see you at the Labatt Blue golf outing on Wednesday.
We're going to win that thing.
We're going to win 2-man scramble. A huge shout out to JW Johnson taking some time with us again. Loves the
Talking
show.
Browns and crew. We worked in some soccer talk, Dave. How about that?
Not bad. Not bad. Not often we can do that. That was phenomenal. Colby Alexander, one of the fastest people from Ohio in the world, in the United States. Go
Incredible.
check that out. The Guardian Mile. What is that? That's this weekend.
Yes,
This
sir.
Sunday.
This Saturday, or is it Sunday? Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah. So go check that out. Go race in it. Go listen to Gab, and fingers crossed everything goes well. Gab. And we'll see you guys next Monday night at 9 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. A swing of the drive. And he flips away. Back to goal.
Reflog. It's tough to go for backwards. No. Oh, yeah.